The aim of this project was to investigate various gameplay effects that could be used for drawing an emotional response from the player. This was to be done using a test scene and multiple test participants having their gameplay and heart rate data recorded and analysed. Originally, a large open forest environment was built which involved a core audio system to control some of the sounds the player would hear from the trees. This prototype scene eventually became too overpopulated with models to work in the playtest scenario, so after consideration of various options, the decision was made to start a new scene from scratch that would use simple primitives that would allow for more time to be spent on the various audio effects of the system. For the new system, the core audio feature from the prototype scene was brought over and converted to use pipes that are laid out around the level. When a player comes into contact with any of these pipes using a circular collider, the pipe will be added to a list of nearby pipes. After a random amount of time has passed, one of the pipes in this list will be chosen to play a random sound effect from an array of different steam sounds. When this goes off, the player will hear a hiss as well as see a steam effect emit from the selected pipe. This, along with various other audio and visual techniques, were combined to create the entire test scene. From here, multiple people were used as test participants in the scene. The gameplay of their playthrough and their accompanying heart rate data was recorded for future analysis. From here, time was spent lining up each of the participants' recorded data into a viewable format. With the data lined up, markers were placed for every point a full 5 seconds of heart rate data had passed. From here, after looking at the different markers, several points of interest were taken and screenshotted in order to understand the variability of the heart rate at this point in time. Using a ruler tool and pixel precision, the screenshots of data were analysed by calculating the distance in pixels between each occurring heartbeats. This information was then converted into milliseconds, showing the RR intervals at various points of time. Individual documents were then made for the participants where key points of interest were marked according to what was happening in the gameplay at this point in time. This was used for drawing conclusions about the system and understanding what techniques were most effective at triggering a response from the users. This project proved to be effective at showing the usability of certain gameplay events to build up tension felt by a player. However, due to various setbacks in the development stage, the test data was limited by the number of participants used and the fact that they all have a gaming background. In a more ideal scenario, test participants would have been more varied and more would have been used to draw better conclusions from.